It was a good morning at the auction for the buyer. However, a not so great morning for Jake because his tractor's still leaking. I'm just kidding. I knew it was leaking. That's common occurrence here on our farm. Anyway, I was at the auction this morning. It is March 18th. And today was one of those days where there was a bunch of loads at auction and not a whole lot of buyers. Super really nice hay, did really good. There was some alfalfa and some super premium second cutting that did over 400 a ton. However, there was a lot of the mid-range hay that did, really cheap, which was really good for me. That load right there is some first cutting orchard grass, just simple straight hay, good, clean, dry with a really nice sweet smell. Perfect to feed any way you want, even horses. But you look at it, it's first cutting. It's not that super dark green or bright green or anything. It's not alfalfa. So, people are like, it's just but me looking at it, I know what I can sell it for. And the price was just right on that stuff. Couldn't pass it up. So got that load. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bales there. And then I got another load of 8 bales as well. Second cutting grass that is on its way here. So we're going to get this stuff put away and get that other load put away as well when it gets here. A really warm day too, so stuff should start easy today. Good morning. It's actually a really good morning despite all the leaks on the floor here and everything that's going on. It's a good morning because we got new tires for the front of the 966 here. I just went to the tire shop, got them put on. Man, was that a hassle. I was there for like 2 hours just to get 2 tires changed. Anyway, that's besides the point. I love the guys over there, so I'm not going to complain about it. We're going to get the new tires thrown on here, and they look exactly how I envisioned them. I'm a sucker for big, beefy tires, specifically big, beefy 4 ribs. Now, these things aren't necessarily that beefier than the old 3 ribs, but they're 4 rib, so I'm hoping to get a little bit better flotation and not as much tearing up of the soil because they're no longer pizza cutters, they're 4 ribs. So we're gonna get these things on. I scheduled the tire shop to come and put these tires on yet. These are the rear tires for the tractor over there. And a lot of you guys were complaining in shorts about my tire patch back here. And believe me, it is not ideal and definitely not for the proper way to do it. But I ran an entire season on a shoe goo patch right here. Yeah. Yes, I'm aware that that is not ideal at all, but a budget is a budget. And when there's not a whole lot of money to go around, you got to do what you got to do. So that is my farmer ingenuity right there. I did what I had to do. It survived the season. We got new tires. We're going to be ready for this year. The new tires are on. I think they look really, really sweet. A couple reasons we did this. Number one, we needed to make this tractor good and roadworthy. We have some new farms this year that are even farther away than last year. So we're doing a lot more road travel this year. We're gonna be running around a lot. So we need to make sure that this tractor is good and roadworthy. The other two were good and roadworthy too. The Adco got the other front tire replaced back in December, and the case had new tires put on it in 2020, except for that one right there, but that one's still in great shape. So this was really the only tractor that hadn't had tires replaced on it, and they were both the front ones were cracked really bad. There was good tread on, but they were cracked really bad. And so we wanted to get a good set of tires in the front that aren't cracked, gonna have good flotation, not pizza cutters. That's the big thing. 3 ribs are really bad at pizza cutting. I call it pizza cutters because they are like, they just cut. You go to make a turn and you'll cut right into the soil, tear it up. Grass fields, it's not as bad, but anything with alfalfa in it does it really bad. The case is really bad at it. As you can see, it's got those tiny 3 ribs up there. So it's really bad at, cutting in the ground, and it hurts it. I just don't like it, and it makes like mounds of dirt. Good thing is though, you can turn really tight and really sharp, so that's kind of why we have 3 ribs on here, and it's the rake tractor. But for this tractor, it's the mower and the baler tractor. 4 ribs gonna provide plenty of traction. They're good and sharp right there, but hopefully not pizza cut as bad. And overall, just hopefully get a little bit better flotation, a little bit wider footprint there, spread out the weight a little bit better, and maybe a little less bouncing going down the road. So that's why we did that. Again, we've got the rear tires we're going to put on here soon. I got them scheduled, so they'll come out and get them replaced, and this tractor will be ready to go. So I decided I'd get the oil changed today while the thing's down here. Oh, perfect shot. Is this gonna dribble? It's gonna dribble a little bit. What's your guys' preference on filters and stuff? So the shop that did the work put Baldwin on here. I've always ran Fleet Guard, and now that I'm changing the oil again, I'm running Fleet Guard back again because that's what I like. But what are your opinions? Any preferences on filters? Personally, I just like the contrast of the white and red. Yeah, I just like the white on there better than the red. My tip to young farmers, if you can do your own servicing, do it if you can help it. You save a lot of money on labor and teaches you a lot of basic mechanic skills. I am not a good mechanic by any means, but I can tell you I'm a lot better than I was 4 years ago just because of basic things like this. Broke out the Tedar today. By the end of the day, I want to have this thing functioning properly. The weird thing that I'm finding is that there's not really any grease zerks anywhere on any of these pivot points. So we're going to go through and hit it with some engine oil just to put some sort of lubricity between all these joints, because it just seems like, especially here, it just seems like areas that can get rusty, they can grind, and they're not going to spin well, if you know what I mean. So we're gonna be pretty liberal with this stuff. Make sure this stuff spins properly. All right, let's see if this thing works. Pull the cord. I gotta make sure I pull it really tight, and let's see if I can hold the camera at the same time. Put it in float. Hey, look at that. Arms lock in, and okay, the wings don't want to go. Come on, Tedar. Come on. There we go. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, thing unfolds, so that's all that matters, right? It's not going on. Got it hooked up. Had to fight it a little bit, but it's on there. And I will say, the more I go over this Tedar, I like it. It's a nice Tedar, but whoever designed it, which I know it's not Massey, someone else makes these Massey Tedars, but I don't like how on almost pretty much every one of these joints where this Tedar folds off the cart, there are no grease zerks. It is just metal on metal. So that's going to be something that I gotta, I guess, just stay on top of with oil or something. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, I guess, but that's how stuff wears when it's metal on metal. Let's fold this thing and unfold it again, get some of that oil moved around, and then we're gonna fire up the PTO, make sure everything is spinning and timing right, and it'll be good. Click. All right, pull it hard, float, wings lock. Hey, they're going by themselves. Look at that. Money. Let's fire up the PTO. Look at that. We got ourselves a Tedar, boys. Tedar works good and I'm pleased with it. The only concern I have actually is the PTO shaft. When it's running, there's a little bit of wobble going here. I mean, you can see that. So I might have to get a longer shaft here because, yeah, this might need to be longer to get more up in here because I don't like how much plays there. So let me know in the comments, is this something that is suitable to run? I don't really feel like it is, but, you know, I go to make a turn. Is it going to extend it more, or, you know, I don't know. So let me know in the comments, do you think I need to get a longer shaft there, or is that okay to run like that? Hold on. I just found a fix. So when we got this Tedar, there was an aftermarket tongue on here. The guy who had it before us had a bull pull hitch on here, or a bull pull tongue, because he had a hammer strap on his tractor. So we put, or the dealer put a new one of these on because I don't have a hammer strap. I could have got one, but we ended up just going with this so that I don't have to put hammer straps on all my tractors. But when they put the thing on here, obviously you can see they left the tongue sticking out. So I can bring this tongue in a couple more inches, about 6 or 8 inches, and that'll give me, should give me 6 or 8 more inches of shaft in there. So that's our fix. At least that's what I'm going to do to try to make sure it works, and that it should obviously work just fine. I don't think it's going to affect it any. It saves me a lot of money because PTO shafts are not cheap. All right, I adjusted the tongue. We're going to get this thing unfolded here. so that we can try it out. It actually unfolds. It's amazing. All right, we're gonna fire it up. Still a little wobble in the shaft, but I think it'll be all right.